Welcome back to our channel. I'm Dr. Kawthar Hameed, your host. And if you're new here, thank you for joining us. We talk about all things related to child development, special education, therapy, and strategies to help your child thrive. For those that have been following along, I'm so glad to have you back as part of our community. Today, I want to dive into a topic that's important to a lot of parents: effective communication strategies for children with autism. If you've been feeling frustrated or unsure about how to improve communication with your child, you are not alone. But I promise you, there are things we can do to make these connections stronger. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us reach more people who can benefit from our content. And by sharing, you're helping spread valuable information to those who need it the most. Thank you for being a part of our community. Now, let's begin. Communication doesn't just mean talking. It's a whole range of ways we express ourselves through gestures, facial expressions, body language, and even play. Every child is different, and understanding your child's unique way of communicating is the first and most important step. One thing to keep in mind is that children with autism often have difficulty with social communication. For example, they may not make eye contact or respond to their names right away. That is not because they don't want to communicate. It is just that their brains are processing things differently. So how can we meet them where they are? Let's start with the basics. Visual support. Children with autism are often visual learners, meaning they respond well to pictures, charts, and other visual cues. Something as simple as a picture schedule can help your child understand daily routines or tasks. You can even use visual cards to represent emotions, so your child can express how they feel without needing words. These visuals give them another way to speak. Another powerful tool is simplifying your language. When we're stressed or trying to communicate quickly, we tend to use long sentences and complicated words. But for children with autism, this can be overwhelming. Instead, try using short, clear sentences. For example, instead of saying, "We're going to put on your shoes and then we're going outside to the park," you can just simply say, "Shoes on park." This makes it easier for your child to process what you're saying, and it reduces the frustration that can come with not understanding. One of the most effective strategies is modeling language. Instead of demanding that your child speak, try modeling the type of communication you would like to see. For example, if you're playing with blocks, you can say, "I'm putting the blue block on top," or "Look, the red car is fast." Even if your child isn't responding verbally right away, they're absorbing how language works in context. Over time, you may start to see them mimic these words and phrases in their own way. Now let's talk about giving your child time to respond. One common mistake is expecting immediate answers. For children with autism, processing language and coming up with a response can take time. After you ask a question or give a direction, pause. Count to 10 in your head if you need to. It might feel like a long time, but your child needs that extra moment to process what you've said. Another strategy that can make a big difference is incorporating their interest into communication. If your child loves trains, use that passion to encourage interactions. Instead of just saying, "Come here," you can say, "Let's play with the train over here." When you connect communication with something that excites them, they're more likely to engage. Let's not forget nonverbal communication. Many children with autism use body language, gestures, or even sounds to communicate. Be attentive to these cues. If your child points to something, that's communication. Respond to it just as you would as if they were using words. Over time, you can start pairing those nonverbal actions with words to help them make the connection. What communication strategies have you found most helpful with your child? Do they respond more to modeling language, giving extra time, or engaging with their favorite interests? I'd love to hear your experiences. Now, I know that communication challenges can be frustrating, but it is important to remain patient and encouraging. Your child can sense your frustration, and that can make it harder for them to open up. Celebrate even the small steps. If your child learns a new word or uses a new gesture, cheer them on. These little victories add up over time. Lastly, remember that communication is a two-way street. It's not just about getting your child to talk, it's about listening and understanding them. Take the time to observe how they communicate, what works for them, and what doesn't. You're learning their language just as much as they're learning yours. In the end, every child with autism has a potential to communicate in a way that works for them. As a parent, your role is to guide them, support them, and create an environment where they feel safe to express themselves, whether it's through words, pictures, gestures, or even play. And remember, it's a journey. You don't have to have it all figured out today. Take it one step at a time and celebrate the progress along the way. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found today's video helpful. If you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future videos, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And remember, by liking, sharing, and subscribing, you're not only supporting this channel, but you're also helping others who may benefit from this information. See you in the next video.